This is Harry Potter during his first year at Hogwarts, struggling with the levitation charm. This is Harry discovering the powerful Patronus charm, the first charm he will eventually master. And this is Harry defeating the Dark Lords of Avada Kedavra with a simple Expelliarmus charm. But how many spells does Harry actually know? It's fewer than you might think, by a lot. Let me show you by going through the movies, exploring all the spells he learned in chronological order. And we're only counting the successful ones, by the way. Failed ones don't count. Neither does Parseltongue, or stuff Harry shoots at his broom. During his first year at Hogwarts, Harry is amazed by the slightest use of magic. Unlike Ron, who witnessed magic throughout his childhood, Harry grew up surrounded by muggles in the boring, monotonic lifestyle of his abusive uncle and aunt. Now, Harry's ambition and curiosity blend into incredible potential to become a great, noble wizard of his time, and not just the boy who lived. So, we're gonna see some of that awesome magic in the first movie, right? Well, no. In the first movie, during Charms class, Professor Filius Flitwick teaches the first graders the levitation charm, Wingardium Leviosa. The class tries to cast the spell, and Hermione is the first of the trio to actually succeed, while Ron and Harry fail, waving their wands in all directions. The levitation charm is his only attempt, and therefore, in the first movie, we have a total of 0 successful spells by Harry. Yes, Harry does not cast any successful spells in the first movie. Even Reddit hates it because of it, and a charm is a spell for the sake of this video. As the second year begins, Harry, Ron, and Hermione learn that the new defense against the dark arts teacher is the egotistical fraudster Gilderoy Lockhart, who can't teach them any useful magic, really. So there won't be any new magic in this class, but Harry will have time to practice spells with the Dueling Club, a club founded by Lockhart and assisted by Snape. During one training session of the club, the bad blood between Harry and Malfoy reaches its peak when they are matched for a duel. Malfoy uses the Averte Statum charm on Harry before the duel officially starts, so Harry's anger results in Ricta Sempra, the tickling charm. And this is officially the first spell Harry casts in the Chamber of Secrets, as well as the movies. The second one is Wingardium Leviosa. Harry finally uses this spell when he and Ron set 2 floating cookies as a trap for Crabbe and Goyle, in order to take their hair and use it for Polyjuice Potion, so that they can infiltrate the Slytherin Common Room. Later, Harry and Ron follow the spiders to the Forbidden Forest to find answers about the monster petrifying students. In the forest, they meet Aragog, king of the Arachnids, who explains that the monster responsible for the troubles at the castle isn't a spider, but an unspeakable creature that spiders fear the most. Even though Aragog was practically raised by Hagrid, he doesn't care that Harry and Ron are Hagrid's friends, and ultimately decides to let his quote-unquote children eat them. But unexpectedly, Mr. Weasley's car, a light blue Ford Anglia, appears out of nowhere and drives the frightened boys away from the spiders. As they enter the car, Harry casts Arania Eximi, the spider banishing charm. So, with the second movie, we have a total of 3 different spells: Ricta Sempra, Wingardium Leviosa, and Arania Exumi. Pretty boring for a movie about wizards to only have 3 spells learned in the second installment. But in the third movie, he starts to learn quickly. And by quickly, I mean quickly. During the opening scene of the third movie at the Dursleys' house, Harry is secretly reading in his room late at night and repeatedly saying Lumos Maxima to light up his wand while reading his school books. In this movie, things finally get interesting. Let me show you why. As the crazy killer Sirius Black is on the run from the barbaric prison of Azkaban, the soul-sucking Dementors circle around searching for him. Harry experiences their brutality firsthand. When they enter the Hogwarts Express, coldness follows. Dementors attack Harry, trying to suck out his soul using the infamous Dementor's Kiss, the aftermath of which leaves a person soulless. This leads to Harry's fear of Dementors and his will to learn how to protect himself and others from them. This moment is also when viewers are introduced to Professor Remus Lupin, the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, who turns out to be a brilliant, easygoing professor. The next spell Harry uses is rarely talked about. While examining the Marauders map, which he received from Fred and George, Harry spots none other than Peter Pettigrew sneaking around the castle. Surprised to discover that this man is still alive, Harry goes to search for him but fails to find him. Instead, he notices Snape approaching his location. To cover up the secrets of the map, he exclaims, "Mischief managed." Not really what you expected? Well, it still counts as a spell. A special one with the sole purpose of clearing the Marauders map and making it blank. Eventually, Harry reveals to Lupin that his biggest fear isn't the Dark Lord, but the Dementors. This leads Professor Lupin's introduction of the Patronus charm, a guardian angel charm used as a protective spell against Dementors. To produce this charm, one must focus intensely on the happiest, most powerful memory. The memory must be vivid, meaning that the person summoning it must focus on all the little details of that joyful memory. Only a memory of that kind can be strong enough to repel Dementors, as they feed on negative emotions and fear the positive ones. Under Lupin's guidance, Harry uses a Bogart, a shape-shifting magical creature that takes the form of a person's greatest fear, to practice the Patronus charm. During his first attempt, Harry chooses the memory of his first time riding a broomstick. This weak memory fails, and like many before him, Harry fails to summon the charm. During his second attempt, Harry focuses on the memory of Gryffindor winning the House Cup the previous year. Now, this produces a slightly stronger but still weak Patronus. The third attempt results in his first weak but successful Patronus charm. He remembers the moment he found out that he was a wizard and could leave the Dursleys for Hogwarts. "Expecto Patronum!" he yells, producing a silvery white shield. And then comes the moment you've all been waiting for. Harry uses Expelliarmus. Of course, it isn't really a surprise. He uses it on none other than Professor Snape in order to buy Lupin and Sirius time to explain themselves and reveal who the real traitor was who led Voldemort to his parents on the night they died. He uses it again later to disarm Peter Pettigrew. Now, this is regarded as Harry's most used spell. It is in the books, but what if I told you it wasn't in the movies? I'll explain that later. First, let's continue counting the spells. Eventually, the Dementors surround Harry and Sirius Black around the lake. Harry's last spell in the third movie is, yet again, the Patronus charm. Yep, I know, boring. So now, we have a total of 7 spells, 3 in the second movie and 4 in the third movie. But the fourth movie is where he more than doubles his arsenal. Year 4 throws him into a tournament designed for adults. In the fourth movie, Hogwarts is chosen to host the famous Triwizard Tournament, a dangerous magical competition between Europe's 3 major wizarding schools. At the same time, a new professor of Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher teaches the class practical spells. Practical and unforgivable. Harry, for the first time in Hogwarts, sees the demonstration of 3 unforgivable curses, used on a spider. Soon, the school witnesses an incredible thing. Goblet of Fire spits out the name of one more Triwizarding champion, Harry. So now we have a 14-year-old in a tournament designed for students of the age of 17 or higher. Harry must either adapt and learn 7th year magic, or he can just use Expelliarmus again whenever it's necessary. So let's start with the first task and find out. In the first task, Harry must retrieve a golden egg from a nest guarded by a Hungarian horntail dragon. Followed by the advice of Party Crouch Jr., who is disguised as Professor Moody, Harry summons his Firebolt broomstick using a summoning charm. While hiding from the fire-spitting dragon, he shouts, "Accio Firebolt!" The broomstick arrives, and he uses it to lure the dragon away from the nest. In the second task, he has to save Ron, who is shackled underwater. To break the chains, Harry uses Relatio, a spell that forces the target to release its grip on whatever it is holding. After he successfully saves Ron and Fleur de Couleurs' younger sister from the lake, Harry is dragged by Grindlelos, aggressive water demons. At the last moment, he uses Ascendio, an ascension spell that quickly pulls him to the surface. The third task is where it gets interesting. The goal is to reach the Triwizard Cup at the center of the maze before the other champions. As Harry is exploring the maze and trying to find his way to the cup, he sees Fleur Delacour lying unconscious on the ground. Harry raises his wand and casts Periculum, a spell that sends red light sparks in the air to call for help, much like the Muggle flare gun. Harry continues to search for the cup and meets with Cedric, who then starts a sick race until Cedric gets pulled by enchanted roots of the maze. Harry hesitates for a moment, but then quickly uses Reducto to destroy the roots in order to release Cedric from their grip. What a good guy placing people above victory. Cedric and Harry then decide to touch the cup at the same time, only to discover that it is a portkey to a graveyard. Then comes another moment all the Potterheads were waiting for while watching this video. The first duel of Voldemort and Harry Potter on the night of the Dark Lord's return. Cedric and Harry realize that they are at the wrong place at the wrong time. Peter Pettigrew kills Cedric, and Harry is bound and forced to watch as Pettigrew performs a dark ritual to bring back Lord Voldemort in physical form. Voldemort then summons his Death Eaters, questions their loyalty, and explains what really happened 13 years earlier when he failed to kill Harry. After shortly torturing Harry with a Cocritus curse, the duel starts. And which spell is Harry gonna use against the most powerful dark wizard of all time? Well, you guessed it, Expelliarmus! If it works well, don't change it. Harry escapes the graveyard, eventually using Accio again to call for Cup Portkey, bringing back the news of Voldemort's return. So in the fourth movie, Harry used 6 different spells, with Expelliarmus already counted, so our total count goes up to 12. Okay, maybe not doubled like I said last time. I lied. Let's move to the fifth movie. Rough times for the magic in this one, as Dolores Umbridge almost bans it entirely. In the opening of the movie, something unexpected happens. Dementors appear in the Muggle world. In order to protect himself and Dudley from them, Harry uses Expecto Patronum. He faces trial at the Ministry of Magic for using magic in the Muggle world, and this is the moment where we are introduced to Dolores Umbridge. As Umbridge sets new rules in Hogwarts and students are forbidden to practice real spells, Hermione, Ron, and Harry plan to build a secret class where they can learn protective spells. And this is the birth of Dumbledore's army led by Harry. The moment a student becomes a teacher. And the first spell he demonstrates is, of course, Expelliarmus. He teaches the students all kinds of protective spells, but Expelliarmus is the only one that he personally casts. Throughout the movie, we discover that Harry and Voldemort's minds are connected, and that through this link, Harry can see visions of events happening far away. Dumbledore then asks Snape to give Harry occlumency lessons, through which Harry practices to resist mind control. Annoyed by Snape's coldness towards him, he uses Protego, which causes Snape's legitimacy spell to rebound and accidentally shows Harry some of Snape's memories. Later, we see Harry and some of the Dumbledore's army students go to the Department of Ministries, where Harry believes Sirius Black is held hostage. Instead, they are ambushed by Death Eaters and the battle begins. The first spell they use against Voldemort's henchmen is Stupefy. Harry uses it on Lucius Malfoy. He uses this spell 2 or more times aiming at Death Eaters. The battle soon stops as Death Eaters take everyone hostage and Harry is forced to surrender. But seemingly out of nowhere, Sirius Black comes in to help his godson. Order of the Phoenix members appear as well and the battle continues. Harry and Sirius fight with Lucius Malfoy, and Harry disarms him once again using the Expelliarmus spell. When Bellatrix Lestrange kills Sirius, Harry is devastated. Rage consumes him and his dark side takes over. He follows Bellatrix as she tries to escape and then uses one of the unforgivable curses on her, Crucio, the torture curse. Voldemort appears and encourages him to continue using the torture curse on Bellatrix, but Harry refuses. So in the fifth movie, he uses 5 different spells, and we can add Protego, Stupefy, and Crucio to the list, which gives us a total of 15 spells. 5 years, 15 different spells. But during the 6th year, Harry will be mentored by none other than Albus Dumbledore. In the 6th movie, the war against Voldemort and his army is finally in the open and everyone knows. Harry finds a special textbook which belonged to the quote-unquote Half-Blood Prince. The book turns out to be full of useful and often dark spells which will be used later. But before any of the special and dark spells, Harry casts Stupefy once again. During the chase at the Weasley estate, he uses it on a Death Eater who blocks it, but Harry's confidence in this spell continues until the end. The next spell Harry uses is one of the spells from the Half-Blood Prince's textbook. While trying to find out more about Draco Malfoy's plans, Harry follows him into the bathroom. Draco attacks him, but Harry dodges the spell and hides. The two of them launch a few unsuccessful spells against each other until Harry finally uses Sectum Sempora, a dangerous spell that inflicts several slashings of the body which results in harsh bleeding, which can lead to death. Luckily, Snape appears and uses a counter curse to heal Draco's wounds. Later, Dumbledore and Harry set out on a search for a Horcrux hidden in a cave. As Dumbledore finishes drinking the water enchanted with dark magic, he becomes thirsty and asks Harry to find him water. Harry tries to produce water using the Aguamenti spell, but the dark magic of the cave blocks this simple spell, so Harry decides to take water from the lake, which is full of Inferi. It becomes dark in the cave, so Harry uses Lumos and then Lumos Maxima for a brighter light. When the Inferi attacks him and he uses Stupefy, Sectum Sempra, and Incarcerus, which is another rare spell and is used to conjure ropes which bound to the target. Dumbledore and Harry return to Hogwarts, where Dumbledore is murdered by Snape. Harry follows Snape and the Death Eaters trying to attack Snape but fails. He uses Incarcerus, trying to restrain Snape, but Snape blocks it easily. This time he tries to inflict damage, so instead of Expelliarmus, he uses the spell of the Half-Blood Prince against the Half-Blood Prince, but his Sectum Sempra is blocked again by Snape, who then reveals that he is the Half-Blood Prince and the creator of that spell. And that's it for the 6th movie, in which Harry uses a total of 7 spells. Now, we can add 3 new ones to the total count: Sectum Sempra, Aguamenti, and Incarcerus, which gives us a total of 18 different spells. And now for the 2 movies of the finale where everything changes. In the 7th movie, the trio is on the run. Hogwarts is silent and almost empty, and the wizarding world is slowly falling under the control of Lord Voldemort and his army. During the Sky Battle, when Harry is headed to the safe house, once again he uses Stupefy on one of the attackers. The trick may fool the Death Eaters, but not Voldemort. He finds Harry and once again tries to kill him using Avada Kedavra. At the same time, Harry's wand produces the Expelliarmus charm by itself. So even the wand has Expelliarmus instinct by now. Stupefy spell is used once again later during the wedding of Bill Weasley and Fleur Delacour. Death Eaters come as unannounced guests and Harry, Ron, and Hermione escape. They go to a Muggle cafe where they are attacked by Death Eaters. Harry uses Stupefy to disable the 2 attackers, and he uses it again on Hogwarts' favorite former professor. They infiltrate the Ministry of Magic in order to find the Horcrux, which is in possession of none other than Dolores Umbridge. Another good reason to cast Expelliarmus, right? Nope, he uses Stupefy spell on her. Hermione then snatches the locket from her neck. While making their escape, they are attacked by Dementors and Harry uses Expecto Patronum to fight them off. They escape to the woods and try to destroy the Horcrux. Harry uses 3 powerful destructive spells, Expulso Defendo and Reducto, in an attempt to destroy it, but all these spells fail to do it. But luckily, Gryffindor's sword can destroy them, and when Harry finds it in the forest in the middle of the night, he uses 2 spells, Lumos and Accio. Later, Harry casts protective spells to secure their hidden spot. He uses Salvio Hexia and Repello Muggletongue. After the incident at Godric's Hollow, Harry's wand breaks in half, but Ron gives him a new one which he took from a snatcher a few weeks earlier. Harry tries to test the wand with a symbol Engorgio, a spell that makes an object larger. But a huge flame bursts from the wand and Harry quickly uses a counterspell, Reducio. After their capture by Snatchers, the trio is taken by their captors to Malfoy's manor. Hermione is held for interrogation, while Ron and Hermione escape the estate's dungeon, and Harry uses, you guessed it, the Stupefy spell on Lucius Malfoy again, 2 years later. And believe it or not, Harry uses this same spell just moments later again on Lucius Malfoy. So by now we can conclude that Harry truly mastered this spell. And in the first part of the 7th movie, he used a total of 8 different spells. We can add Expulso, Defendo, Engorgio, and Reducio as the newly introduced spells, and that makes a total of 22 different spells used by Harry. But now the biggest challenge of the final battle is near. In order to find and destroy another Horcrux, Harry, Ron, and Hermione go to Gringotts Bank to extract the Horcrux from Bellatrix Lestrange's vault. Harry, hiding under an invisible cloak, uses Imperious spell on a goblin in order to make him obey their request to enter the vault without providing identification. When they enter the vault, Harry uses Lumos. Harry Potter is dead! Or is he? Well, Voldemort certainly didn't see that one coming. After the huge battle, Voldemort and his followers march into the heavily destroyed Hogwarts and tell everyone that Harry Potter is dead. But as it turns out, he isn't. Harry stops pretending that he's dead and casts Confringo, a blasting curse, aiming at the crowd of Death Eaters. He falls back into the castle while Voldemort and his army launch their attack and the final battle begins. Shit goes down. After a long chase and a fall from the tower, the final duel begins and ends with one last Expelliarmus. In the end, Harry's Expelliarmus destroyed Voldemort, whose Avada Kedavra was useless more than once. So in the second part of the 7th movie, Harry used 4 different spells. We can add Imperious and Confringo to the total amount, which means that throughout the 8 movies, Harry used 24 different spells. The reveal. Do you wonder what spell he used the most? Expelliarmus? Well, you guessed it wrong. Harry used Expelliarmus 7 times and he uses Stupefy 8 times. And he used it 3 times on Lucius Malfoy. This count is often controversial and confusing, even with all the research I did for this video, so please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong about the final number. So, Harry's signature spell may be Expelliarmus, especially when it comes to duels with Voldemort, but Stupefy is his master spell in the movies. And Lucius Malfoy stands as a witness who can confirm this fact firsthand. So, what did you think about our final number? Impressive or low? Leave a comment below. And if you're looking for more Harry Potter content, like maybe Voldemort being sentenced to his crimes, click here to watch that video. His prison sentence is a lot longer than you might expect.